to the cloud. Hi guys, today is August 3rd already. And this is town hall for the NFT-DAO. Let's see, we're getting more people showing up. Okay, and we put an agenda together. I tried to use both the Discord channel and the Slack channel until we have a resolution on what we're doing, because we're using kind of both of them really right now. So let's kind of do roll call. Let's see, from the top of my screen, I've got Mr. Lupian. Good morning. Afternoon. Agape Pool. Alexander Smart with Mutual Knowledge. Andrew Thornhill.
What's up, guys?
Country of Georgia, the whole country. David Heller.
I represent the entire country of Georgia.
Right. And all of the wine. David Heller and Jordan O'Hare and Philip Roberts, Sebastian Pereira. Okay, so let's get started. I put an agenda together. Hopefully you saw it. Did you see it in Slack as well as in the Discord? It's I was trying to use the threading solution in both of them, and so I wanted to start out with kind of a discussion about voting tools, just for about 5 minutes, and then assign some action items so we can go solve that problem. Get a little committee together that wants to work on it and get that solved. The second thing was completing the ticket sale app, what the next steps are for development. We need to get an approval for resource allocation. We don't need to vote on that today. We just want to start talking through what has to happen. And then we need a marketing plan for Acadia, where we update the website and get some progressive posts done, get a planning meeting set up specifically for Acadia, and then update videos. Somebody's in, oh, we lost Wilhelm, he's back. Okay, welcome back, Wilhelm. And so Alex needs to do some interviews with CBDI, Agape, and Andrew in 3 shorts, short videos about why you guys are excited about what we're working on. And then we need to think about Fund 6 proposals, and then is there anything else we want to add to the agenda? Does anybody have anything they need to or want to add to the agenda?
Yes, I have one thing. Are
Okay.
we doing the GSV talk?
Okay, let's put that on the agenda there in the in one of the GSB talk.
Presentation.
Okay, and there's hub. All right. So why don't you start there with that, Sebastian, and we'll go kind of backwards.
Okay, so basically GSB stands for Global Entrepreneurship Bootcamp, something like that. And they have a blockchain channel where they are mentoring basically blockchain startups. And they asked me if I knew any blockchain startups or projects that are not fully developed, that are in the process of being developed, that could talk in that book, in that channel of the bootcamp in a short call. And I thought that would be a good idea for the NFT-DAO, because that will give it a new platform to present the project and a new public. And that is every day. They meet Wednesday, 3 p.m. EST. I don't know what time that's in Mountain.
Eastern.
EST, Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time. Okay. Now, who are you suggesting, and how long does that need to happen? How long is the talk?
It is 30 minutes and 10 minutes of questions. And basically, well, since it's a blockchain group, maybe someone a little bit technical that can answer some of the questions regarding the difference between Cardano and maybe Ethereum and other chains, or
Mhm.
someone in the marketing that is very knowledgeable about how to market a blockchain project to the general public. One of those two possibilities.
Okay. And when do you need an answer by?
Well, in the next 3 weeks, yeah. The bootcamp is for the next 3 weeks, and after that, it will close. So,
So the first one will be tomorrow on Wednesday.
yeah, and the next one will be the next Wednesday and one Wednesday more.
One Wednesday more. Okay. So if we want somebody real technical, I'm almost suggesting Phil or Bear, Alex.
Yeah, like I think that Phil might be a better option for us. Still kind of in the weeds with some personal matters right now.
Yeah,
So
that's kind of what I was thinking too. Is that that Phil might be the better choice, but it probably is almost you know, two different things. Instead of maybe he can answer blockchain questions. Maybe one of us can do the business case and what we're trying to accomplish, and then have Phil along to do Q&A. How would that sound, staff? Sebastian?
Yeah, I think that works perfect.
Okay, so I would either suggest me, Steve, or Andrew. And I'd be, if we did it next Wednesday, what's the date on the, what on my calendar?
11 next
11.
Wednesday is 11.
Okay. I think we can regroup on that. It'll either be, I'll talk to Steve, and between Steve and myself, I think we can come up with a story. I might be able to do it. And then I'll ask Phil if he's available and get back to you in a couple days.
Sure.
Okay, cool. All right. So GSD stands for what?
Global Silicon Valley.
Oh, it's V. GSV. All right, cool. We'll do that. All right. So in terms of voting, just gonna jump right into the voting stuff. The bot in Discord isn't really working that well because you have to add the pieces in, and then you have to take them away. And it looks like a vote was cast when it's not cast. And then when you take them away and people come in to vote, there's only one choice. So that's not going to work. So David, are you there?
Yep. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. So I did some hunting around and I sent you guys the stuff for I can't remember the name of the company that that does that voting thing. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did look into it a little bit. I didn't do a deep dive, but I looked in a little.
Okay, so there's what's the name of it?
Let me check my history. Votes, VOATZ.
No, not that one.
Oh, that was the only one you sent me, I think.
Okay, I made you a
Votes is the one that's running the military voting program right now. but it's not, it's just a blockchain-based voting thing. Is that what you're talking about, Rich?
Yeah, it's not that though. There's another one that I invited. I have to find it. I found it online, and then it's a paid service. And I invited a few people to the Brave is really, really bad about keeping history, I'm telling you. So what I did is I invited you guys to the thing I found, but it's not in here. It's not in my Brave history, believe it or not. Okay, so let's skip that for right now, because you should have gotten an invite to it, because I added your email and you would think that it sent you an invite. That's at least what I was thinking it did. Anyway, it's a paid service for voting, and it has all of the features that we wanted. So let's go to the second thing, which is complete the ticket sale app. And we don't have Phil here, so we probably have to skip that for right now, because he's got the details that we need on that. And then let's go to the marketing plan for Acadia. So we need to build one. We need to build a marketing plan. Y'all volunteering?
I'm wondering if that's something I could use a student to help with.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping as well. If we had some marketing students that are, but we need to do it sooner rather than later. And do we have any?
Students aren't back for another month. That's the challenge.
Yeah, I get it.
So just give me a heads up on that.
Yeah.
Rich, I'm happy to take a stab at least like round one marketing plan and tie it to my team, just so we can get something going. And even if we have a deadline 2 months out, you know, just to at least start something to get some things moving.
Andrew, I'll work with you on that, okay?
There we go. That's a good idea.
All right.
Okay. So Philip is happy to learn. He just needs some help and some mentoring, and he'll get a lot of the actions done. Just needs a little direction on what exactly we're going to pull together. So if you pull Philip Roberts in,
There was a fear.
what?
Rich, can you connect us offline? And then I think that we can probably cover that and get
Yep.
it going.
Yeah, you
Cool.
guys are all in Slack together, so you're all connected.
Like a boss.
All right, cool. All right, so that's what I'm thinking of is we need to get the website updated for Acadia. We need to get also the NFT-DAO website updated to talk about what's going on with Acadia. And then Phil is working on what it's going to take to finish it out. And so he's putting together that plan together. And then probably next week we'll vote on spending about 8,000 ADA to finish this thing and be done with it, and find out exactly how long it's going to take. I know he has a lot of the pieces thought through. It's just a matter of getting the right resources on it. So Alex, we might, did we lose Alex? Oh no, there he is, Alexander. We might need a front end person after all. I'm not sure if we actually have a good front end person. So just put that in the back of your thought process.
All right.
Okay. And then if that's the case, we'll find out when Phil reveals his plan.
Okay.
Alex isn't with us today, but he agreed to do this week some short interviews. I'm thinking that we want to have you, Steve, and maybe Phil talk about what's going on with the Blockchain Center and why you guys have joined forces with us on the NFT-DAO. And this is
Because you made me rich? Is that what you want me to say in the interview?
exactly.
I am happy to do that. As Rich knows, I never shy away from a camera.
I was thinking that, all of the plans that you guys have, we're gonna be building Acadia Marketplace, but we're also gonna be helping with the building of this framework. And on top of that, UW is gonna be building their own storefront. And so that whole use case comes into play, and that the story behind all of that is kind of what we want to get out there. So that's just a little bit of a heads up on what I'm thinking your story with Alex is about. And then mutual knowledge.
Select your language.
Nope.
The accessibility function.
Sorry.
Mutual knowledge. We also want to get an interview with you, Alex. You've
Yeah.
had one before, but this is about what we've got to do on the Fund 4 with the metadata standards,
Right.
right? And how we're going to get engaged with Frere and Phil and whoever else we need to engage with to start building those metadata standards out. And then Agape Pool, definitely want to have you guys do a short interview. I'm thinking these things are less than 10 minutes. They're quick interviews that can get out there and just circulate it on Twitter and so forth, so people know what we're doing. They also can work fine if we do them at 5 minutes for updates to the Catalyst cohort. So Catalyst cohort is everybody who has won funding. It happens on a bi-weekly basis, and they ask for reporting on a regular bi-weekly basis about where we are in a particular part of a project. So this time they're changing it to be, we were just doing written reports. Now they're wanting to do stand-up reports and or a video for 5 minutes to get an update. So they could be useful for that as well. And then Andrew, we want to get you doing that as well. And then everybody who's in the
just hook me up.
Yep. Okay. Expect to hear from Alex Heller. The rest of the folks also need to be telling their stories, and so Alex should be reaching out to every single one of you about your story around NFT-DAO, why you're doing this, and what you hope to achieve, what you hope to get out of it personally, and where you would like to see things go, both technically as well as community-wise. How's that sound, guys? Sound like fun?
Sounds fine.
That's good. Yep.
Okay. And then Fund 6. Oh, there's Andy. Hey, Andy. Fund 6 proposals yeah, Sebastian, you're here, right? There you are.
Yep.
You have the one that you want to put in for the gaming feature, the rage quitting.
Right. So basically, the idea is that we want to create some sort of space for teams that are having internal problems. They can get an external advisory or some sort of support that can allow them to either resolve the conflict internally or use advices from the Cardano community in order to solve it externally, I guess. And in order to incentivize both sides of that equation, we need to create some sort of either a gamified version of a token exchange or some sort of token incentive in order to get both sides interested in participating. But the advisors are going to solve the problems, and the teams who want to be on the platform in case they have a challenge later in their development. And that's tied a lot with rage quitting and creating some sort of sensing environment for the Cardano Catalyst community. And basically that would be the proposal.
Okay, cool. Welcome, Andrew.
G'day.
So want to give an update on the conversation you had with Phil on ticket sale. We covered it briefly, that we're moving forward with it. So
Yeah, so we just spoke about adding the 40 hexadecimal code along the just dark gray on black on the perimeter of the ticket. So it sounds like that should be all good and doable. And it sounds like he's got everything he needs. And yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, so the interesting thing that Phil is working on is it will literally print the NFT code right on the ticket, on the front of that ticket. So if you think about how a lot of these NFTs have gotten out, in order to find where your NFT is, you've got to go through the metadata. This will embed in the metadata as well as physically on the front of the ticket. So if anybody has a copy of a ticket that doesn't have a metadata tag on it, or the hex code on it, it's not a real ticket. And so this is like a one step above, being able to make sure that the ticket you hold is real. And of course, somebody can copy that ticket just like they can copy anything else, but it's still province of who owned it, what wallet it's supposed to be in is in the blockchain. So if you don't have that in your wallet, then it isn't yours. So if you can't prove the wallet address and the hex code, not your NFT. So that's kind of exciting. Stepping back to Fund 6 proposals, the follow-up that we did in Fund 4 was, we called it NFT-DAO Easy On, and that was working with Mutual Knowledge to build out the rest of the framework. We didn't get that one funded in Fund 4. Fund 4 was kind of a weird fund. It took forever for it to get voted on. But I think we'll want to put that back in with a better timeline and detail of exactly what we're going to do. So, Mr. Smart, you ought to be thinking about that particular one. It's the Easy On that expands to allow us to work with different chains and so forth once we have this framework. And if we get it into Fund 6, we can keep refining it until it actually gets funded.
Okay.
Okay. Just so you know that we'll be moving forward with that.
We'll take another look and see if we can update that.
Yeah. And anything else that we need to cover? Because that gets us through our agenda. So are there any other proposals that you think you guys are thinking of that we should be thinking about getting done?
Regarding the Medium articles for the the partnerships, when do we have to publish those?
The Medium articles, do you need some quotes for that?
No, if the
Why don't you
videos
talk-
are gonna
tell
come
me
out.
What you're thinking about.
Okay.
You could do that now.
I broke off at that last sentence, so I didn't
I
hear
said,
you.
why don't you let the team know what you're thinking about there?
All right, so we talk about creating one Medium article for the Wyoming partnership and a different one for the Agape partnership.
Yep.
And both would be a little bit of a more detailed explanation that could fit on a video. And we would publish those on our Medium page. I don't think I need a quote for either because the video is gonna come out and well, there are gonna be quotes there, right? So maybe just like a general description of the partnership or how they want the orientation of the articles to go. Someone can send me a document under those lines and I can prepare the drafts.
Okay. So it's probably gonna help to have a maybe a short interview with the specific parties and then capture some notes from there. And that would probably be your best way forward. You can even do that over Slack, just have a few questions. And then like I would ask Steve,
Yeah.
why, what would, if he's going to write a Medium article about UW Blockchain Center and the DAO, what would you have him focus on?
Well, probably, I think a couple of things I would probably focus on. Number one is I focus on, the fact that, Wyoming is the only state that allows, that registers DAOs. I then probably focus on, why the University of Wyoming, about the University of Wyoming Center and why the center is getting involved in not only NFTs, but in partnering to create a DAO marketplace. And then I'd be able to provide some quotes and things like that. So, but I think that's what's probably most newsworthy about what's going on here is, we are the only Division I university in a state that can provide, that has DAO registration.
Okay, I'll prepare a draft and ping you on Slack with the
Sure. Yeah. Just
the refs.
yeah. Just hit me on Slack and I'll take a look at it. And I mean, quite honestly, if you just write a draft, I may be able to send it through my institutional marketing people to clean it up and add some more to it as well too.
Perfect.
Do you think it'd be possible for them to do a press release on it?
Yeah, I would think so. I would think so. I would get you and I, Rich, should talk to Pat.
Yeah. Sorry, my phone rang. What did you say?
Let's you and I talk to Pat.
Okay, great. Awesome. And then Alexander, how would you frame
I'm gonna just assume that the question is how would I frame Moon's interest in the project?
Yeah.
And the DAO. I mean, I think that our interest is we're focused on interoperability, and that there are so many NFTs, but right now they're not interoperable, and they only exist in one chain in one place. And we want to be able to create a world where that's not the case, where you can buy your NFT and you can use it and take it where you want to, and that shouldn't be. You shouldn't be tied into an ecosystem, and that's Moon's interest is in helping create that. the framework and the standardization necessary for that to become true, like organized metadata and the right mechanisms to make it so that an NFT created on any chain can move to somewhere else.
Okay, got it. I'll prepare a draft and also ping you on Slack.
Great.
How does that sound, Sebastian? Is that the good theme?
Yeah, I think I got it.
Okay, great. Okay, then Agape Pool and Andrew, do you guys want to do something together, or do you want to do it separately?
I'm happy to work with these guys. Absolutely.
Okay, great. So if Sebastian was to start a draft, what would it be on? For Agape Pool and you?
Brock, you want to take that real quick?
Oh, you're wanting to know basically why we are in the position we are,
Yeah, what's motivating you to work with NFT-DAO, and what's in it for Agape Pool? What does Agape Pool hope to give to the world, right? Because of just plain love, right?
Exactly. So yeah, that's fairly self-explanatory. That is our main objective. We realize the space is going to go places, and it's going to revolutionize industry as we know it, is in our opinion. So we're really keen on environmental concerns. We're keen on organic farming, growing in a sustainable way, doing things in a sustainable way. And we really like the fact that it's a equal playing field for all entities, businesses, people. And so really what we saw is the need for a place that everybody could demonstrate what they have to offer and digitize basically the barter system, as it were, so that everyone does have that equal playing field, and trying to figure out ways to incentivize and help on-ramp individuals into using Cardano's ecosystem. So for us, that's why we took the initial steps that we did. We're keen on what Andrew was doing with Bias Vineyards and the QR track and traceability. And so for us, we think that the best thing to do is team up with ones who specialize in those different fields and just get what we can get done, build what we can build. So I don't know, for backstory or anything like that for Agape Pool, if you want to go into more details with that kind of stuff, but our objective is mass adoption and an equal playing field where people can be valued or evaluated by their transactions, what they do, what they don't do.
Right, got it.
Okay, so that could give you good fodder for some articles, and then it could also actually serve to help Alex with the interview process, because then you'll be multimedia, right? If you got the messaging and the flow down, then it could be used for that as well.
Okay, I'll touch base with him.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, I wish I could find this. It's crazy that I can't find this voting app. Anyway, I'm going to go back to what I was talking about with the voting app thing. I started doing some research on whether or not there were any good blockchain voting apps that aren't just tied to one blockchain, that could potentially be moved to different blockchains. It's interesting that the Catalyst app comes up when you start looking for that. But it's, of course, focused solely on Catalyst and not on the ability to do voting as a group. So there was another one, it's called Gov something, and it's not really a blockchain app, but it's more for like organizations that need to cast votes, like boards of directors and so forth. It had a fee of it wasn't too much, but it was like a monthly fee to use. So I sent it out to, or I thought I sent it out to a few people that I was talking to about voting. So David and Phil should have been getting an email, I thought, because I had to add your emails in there to invite you to it. So you might check your spam folder to see if it showed up in your spam folder.
Yeah, I did look in there. I just still don't see anything.
Yeah, that's weird. If I remember right, it was DH David Heller.
Yep.
Yeah, that's where I had it sent to.
Yeah,
So
I've checked. It's I haven't gotten anything.
that's weird. So anyway, your public email is out on the public, and if you start getting dark web stuff,
It's enough recruiters that found it where it's kind of hopeless anyway. So
okay, that's all I have. Anybody have anything else they want to contribute, or I don't want to belabor the meeting if we don't need to have it any longer.
Rich, I just had one quick question, if that's all right. Why couldn't we take a look at, see how difficult it would be to build that voting in-house? It's just amongst a select few wallets anyway. We should be able to do something like that, at least on a test net, shouldn't we?
Say that again. My phones were ringing all over the place and I didn't hear it.
I'm just wondering if for our own project, because it's a select number of wallets that would have to be created and funded, could we do a blockchain voting system ourselves and build that in-house for this application, just on a test net?
I don't know.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes.
There are voting apps on GitHub. You probably can select one of them, download them, and how about I volunteer to look at the voting app and maybe set one up, and then we find a way of using it. I look into it, okay? On my little Pi 4, I can do this with 8 gigabytes of memory and my little SMD card, 256 gigabytes. I have space left, 50 gigabytes. I think we can vote that much.
Oh, thanks, Wilhelm. That's great. That's a great suggestion.
Okay.
I didn't even think of looking on GitHub.
Yeah, I look at it and then I'll let you know, guys.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect.
And I put it
Awesome.
on the Discord. I'm going to put it on the Discord channel somewhere appropriately. So if I need your email addresses or you need to have your email addresses, whatever, we probably can work.
Are you
in,
are
right?
you
Or
on
we
the
find a way
Slack?
of it.
Are you on the
I'm
Slack?
also on Slack.
Okay.
I can also,
Right.
you want me to do it on Slack? I can do it on Slack too.
Well, no, but that's
Okay.
another thing that needs to be discussed. The reason we moved over to Slack is because in Discord there wasn't a thread. And David, you want to talk about that? And now that there is a thread, the question is, what do we do?
yeah, so Discord added threading. So I guess it's kind of like, and that was one of the original things we swapped over for, as well as the fact that since the project's kind of been restarted from the events of the last few months, it's still a bit flooded in Discord, at least the way I feel like it is. And there's like, 50, 60 channels. It's very hard to follow anything still. Not that any of that is really that relevant anymore. I'm still partial to Slack personally. But I guess if somebody would like to proposition that we go back to Discord, we now
I
could.
don't care.
Okay.
I don't care. You tell me where you want me to put this. So I put it on Slack. Yes.
Yeah, put it
Okay.
on Slack. Perfect.
Does anybody have a strong
Okay.
feeling about Slack or Discord? Go ahead.
I used to like Discord a lot. I still do actually. But one thing that I thought was nice about Slack was the apps. I made a repo for the content of the website NFT-DAO on recent meetings we had about it, especially with Philip. And I made that repo to try to organize the content and the way it would be modified by maybe, well, anyway, to manage the whole thing. And I integrated the GitHub repo with Slack through an app, which notifies whenever there's an commit or something is pushed or a pull request. And I thought it was pretty nice to notify people. I know that Discord has the bots that could do the same thing. So, but I thought it was easier with Slack.
Okay, anybody else have any strong opinions?
Does anyone have any, I guess, since we're kind of like, we voted to move to Slack, does anyone have any opinions against being on Slack still? If it's just silence, then we'll just stick with Slack.
Guys, I literally deleted Slack 2 years ago and then downloaded for this project because it's such high priority for me. Whatever you guys pick is what I'll use. No problem.
Okay, I would say we just stick with Slack.
I suggest as a DAO organization, we vote.
Well, that we did vote, I think 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago to
Did I
move
miss
to
that
Slack.
vote?
Yeah, you weren't part of the team yet.
Well,
So
good news is I use both, so you guys decide.
Okay, well, it's just since we voted for Slack now, if there's anyone who would like to propose that we move back to Discord, we can make another vote for that next week. So I guess just think about it, use it for a week, and then we'll vote on it next week. If anyone brings it up, we'll vote it on it next week. But otherwise, we'll just stay on Slack.
Okay, great. Hey, Michael, welcome.
Ooh, been a while.
Well, you've been busy, huh?
Yes, sir. I'm just here to sit in for a little bit. I have to head out in a second.
Yeah, we're just finishing up. So if there's nothing else, then Slack it is. Right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And, Michael, you can catch the rerun.
Sounds good.
Do you have any insights or stuff? There is one thing, we did get voted for the metadata standards. And so what we're doing with the metadata standards, that were originally on that proposal aren't with the DAO anymore. So Francois and Phil are leading that effort. And so if you have any inputs on metadata standards, I know you've got the Flurry stuff going and some ideas around metadata as well. So if you want to contribute something in there, in the thought process.
Yeah, I'll have to sync up or catch up in the Slacks or for what's happening there. Are all the Fund 5 results in?
No, that was in Fund 4. We got that Fund 5 is voted for, but we won't see that stuff for a week.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, but Fund 4, we were voted for the metadata standards, and those guys have quite a bit of work that they've already put into those kinds of things. So pretty excited to move forward with that. So it'd be great for you to just, keep abreast of what's going on so that the stuff you're going to be working on is coordinated, across the community.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll catch up in Slack and Discord and see what's going on there because I'm, to be honest, pretty out of the loop right now. So we'll
drag you back in. It might be kicking and screaming, but. Okay, guys, thank you. And we'll see you for sure next week.
Thanks, Rich. Thanks, everyone.
All right.
Okay.
Cheers.
Bye.
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 Bye.